Hello everyone, my name is Amit. In this video with Aisha, we are going to discuss the topic secularism. Secularism, along with communalism and regionalism, they constitute one of the basic part of the Indian society section of GS Mains Paper 1. Now, at the very beginning of our discussion, let's try to define secularism. What do we mean by secularism? If we look into the dictionary meaning, it says that secularism is separation of religion from state, or rather separation of state from religion. You go for any dictionary, whether it's Oxford, Cambridge dictionary, doesn't matter. The basic notion of it, the basic notion of the definition of religion, the basic notion of the definition of secularism would be this only. Okay. Question is, may we find this definition acceptable in our point of view of looking at secularism? No. The way we look at secularism, it's completely different. The Indian meaning, the way we have been traditionally defining secularism, it's more like giving equal respect or equal space to others' religions or others' faiths and beliefs along with ours. The amount of love and affection, the amount of respect that we have for our own religion, giving it or sharing the equal space, sharing the equal amount of respect with others' religions or others' faith and belief, that's the Indian meaning. So the Indian meaning is we can also look at another point of view, the point of view which has been given by one of the eminent jurists in India, Sri Ram Jethmalani. His point of view is that secularism is subordination of religion to reason to the very least. By reason we mean logic, rationality, in public discourse, in our public life. That's his point of view of looking. At least, that's what he says. So we can understand that there exists some difference in the Indian meaning or the Indian concept and the Western concept. To what extent is there this difference? And then, why is there this difference? The answer of the first question lies actually in the second question. That why is there this difference? This difference lies primarily in the experiences of the two societies. Society in India and society in the West. In the West, the concept of secularism made its emergence primarily during the French Revolution, during 1789. Before the French Revolution, in the French society, that was the time of the emperors. Louis XIII, he established the last dynasty. From Louis XIII onwards, Louis XVI was the last emperor. The Prime Minister of France was the Cardinal of France. The head of the Church of France used to act as the Prime Minister of France. Okay. To what extent his authority was, it can best be understood by one example, that the Bastille fortress, which was the most fearsome jail in France, was actually the personal or private jail of the Cardinal of France, the Prime Minister. So from here alone you can understand to what extent religion made its ingress inside state apparatus. Okay. This particular experience was not there in India. India has been the cradle of various world civilizations. Buddhism made its emergence here, Jainism, Sikhism, Christianity came to India in the first millennium. In fact, one of the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ, the two rather, St. Peter's, he went to Europe, and St. Thomas, who came to India, While Saint Peter, he met with resistance, with violence in Europe. Saint Thomas, we can still see his grave in Tamil Nadu. Now, I would like to make a point. See, if the people of the region, they didn't like one particular saint, they would normally try to destroy or desecrate his grave. But that didn't happen with Saint Thomas. Yes, if you go through Wikipedia, in Wikipedia it says that in Syrian mythology they say that Saint Thomas was killed in India. But if he had been killed in India, his grave would have had been desecrated over the centuries. It's here for 2 millenniums. Clear? It's still there in Tamil Nadu. Similarly, in case of Islam, the first mosque that was built in in India, Chairman Juma Mosque, was built in 629 AD during the lifetime of Prophet Muhammad. Out of the affection or the personal affection, I should say, of the king of Travancore. The king didn't convert to Islam, but he was so much impressed that he allowed the mosque to be built in India. He provided land for that mosque to be built in India. From this discussion only you can understand that the general tendency or the general sentiment for the masses in India have been grossly different from that of the West. What we have been practicing here can best be summarized in a Neo-Vedantic principle, a Neo-Vedantic philosophy, which was for the first time propagated by Swami Vivekananda and later on quoted by Gandhiji. The particular philosophy of Sarva Dharma Samo Bhava, that all the religions, they are equal, although the actual meaning is that all the paths, they lead to the same direction. But in another way, we can also interpret this, that all the religions, they lead to the same goal. They are all equal. So in this philosophy only that we have been believing. So the Indian experience of secularism has been grossly different from that of the West. Okay? This difference in experience actually caused this difference in meaning. Now, let's look at how secularism has been manifested in our day-to-day life. Okay. Today, the first law of the land, that is the constitution, the very premise on which all the other laws and our society has been built up. The preamble of that constitution that reads that we, the people of India, solemnly give ourselves a secular socialist democratic republic. The word secularism is there. Yes, it was included in the 42nd Amendment, 1976, no doubt. But then comes the other various articles of the Constitution. Say for example, Article 14, equality before law. Article 15, no discrimination on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Article 16, equality in opportunity. Similarly, Article 19, freedom of expression for everyone. Article 21, right to life with dignity for and personal liberty for everyone. Then comes Article 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Then the articles of 38, 39A. The previous ones from 14 to 30, they were part of the fundamental rights. 38, 39A, 41, 44, 46, they all are part of the DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy. But they also all try to give us the same objective, to attain the same objective of secularism. Let's point them down. In fundamental rights, the articles we were talking about were 14, 15, 16, 19, 21, then 25 to 28, 29 and 30. Similarly, in DPSP, we talked about 38, 39A, capital A that is, please. Then Article 41, 44, 46. All of these articles, in their very basic essence, they have been trying to promote equality. Equality whether in terms of difference in religion, equality whether in terms of difference in the caste category. But their basic objective has always been promoting equality. That notion lies there. That's why we are saying that all these articles, they have been trying to promote secularism. Yes, it would be a very narrow interpretation if we just look at secularism from the point of view of religion. Because in our discussion in communalism only, we have seen how the colonial masters of India, they have tried to divide India in various groups. So secularism also has a broader implication in Indian scenario, where it tries to bridge the gap between all the various sections, whether the religious differences, whether in terms of races, whether in terms of the caste groupings, or otherwise. So secularism has its application in bridging all these gaps in Indian scenario. Okay. Similarly, the fundamental duties, 51A in part 4A, they also try to promote secularism, the secularistic notion of the society. Today, there is a rising debate in India about this particular inclusion of the word secularism in the preamble. One section, they are saying that this particular word, secularism, has been included in the Indian constitution only through the 42nd Amendment. Well, I would like to quote the former CJI of India, Justice V.N. Khare. In his point of view, that the Constitution of India has always been secular. It has been the implicit sentiment of the Constitution has always been secular, because yes, you might say that the preamble has been included, or the word secularism has been included in the preamble through the 42nd Amendment in 1976 that made the word secularism explicit. But in an implicit sense, these articles, especially the fundamental rights, number of DPSPs, they have been there in the original constitution. In fact, if we look at the debate of the Constituent Assembly, in the debate as well, there was a notion of bringing to effect this secularism in public discourse. Yes, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, initially he tried to promote uniform civil code as a means to bring in equality among the Hindu section of the society. But then later on, it was realized that this same concept, uniform civil code, can be applied to bring in the public discourse of all the various religious sections as well. In fact, in 1993, the then government as well tried to bring in a bill to give in effect to uniform civil code. This was in the backdrop of the demolition of the Babri Masjid that happened in 1992. That debate, let's keep that debate separate from this discussion. So, however, the government also tried to bring in that particular bill, but the then government, that was a minority government. So they realized that even if they bring in the bill, the other sections which were there, the other political sections which were there, they are not going to support this particular bill. So as a result, the bill was later dropped on. Okay. So on a number of occasions we have seen whether the Constituent Assembly or the government, the subsequent governments, they have been trying to promote the secularistic tendency of the society. It has always been going on, and that's still going on. Yes, at times a debate crops up, but the general tendency of the government has always been in promoting the secularistic notions of the society. No doubt about this. Next comes the kind of questions that can be asked. Till now, there has been one question which has been asked from this section. It was asked, if I'm not wrong, this question was asked in 2015, talking about the difference between the Indian concept of secularism and the Western concept of secularism. This is one particular striking area which we have already discussed. I would suggest you to try and write the answer of this particular question. That well, I'm giving you the question that what is the difference in the concept, in the Indian concept of secularism and the Western concept of secularism? That's the question. Try to write the answer of this, and in a subsequent video we would try to discuss the answer of this particular question. Thank you all. Thank you.